you.
Okay, great. So thank you, Kostas. And I would like to thank all the organizers for this opportunity. I'm happy to collaborate with them in our joint EU project Artolio, as Kostas mentioned, which I will mention later on. And I also have to apologize for my voice as I'm recovering from a flu. A reminder that there are some other sicknesses besides COVID in the world. So olive oil is an ancient production having considerable ecological and socio-economic importance in the Mediterranean basin, and yet, in my opinion, it does not get the respect it deserves. So I will try to depict modestly how to direct it a bit closer to the King's Road. Environmental and human health. In terms of health and environment, the World Health Organization has been leading the charge for this change in mindset, understanding the environmental threats responsible for the global burden of diseases. The environment and human can go together, can thrive together. We can help this process by helping farmers optimize their production and supply chains, enhance food security, and mainly safeguard farmers' income and livelihood. As Saki said, sustainability and profitability. The olive oil sector is in a big dislocation. It has a higher demand, it has lower supply, not in terms of production, but in terms of counterfeit oil, traditional industry, fragmented production chain, lack of transparency, lack of technology, etc. We can see that the EVO consumption is growing worldwide, driven by all those reasons: health benefits, Mediterranean diet, culinary multiplicity, organic cosmetic, etc., etc., etc. There are many, many reasons to raise the consumption, and yet the production is quite low. The production quality. The production has tripled in the last 60 years, as we can see, and it will increase in the coming 10 and even more years. And we can see that it is raising, especially in non-producing EU countries. Surprisingly, we know that the olive oil market in China is driven by health-oriented consumers, ramping up both EVO imports and production. And yet, this industry is in disruption. As you can see it, and this is from Gartner, the amount of confirmed fake olive oil, but the red section, which is almost confirmed or probably fake olive oil, is quite threatening, and it's not a good sign for the industry. So the industry is definitely in a disruption. The linkage, how can we linkage the different systems in this disruption that are not speaking to each other? The environment, excuse me. So what I would like to offer is like three domains of innovation. Three domains of innovation, which is technology, community, and locality. It is clear that in order to make those systems talk to each other, we have specific needs in general lack of innovation in production chain, we need the remedy in general lack of management savviness, and this is one of the focus of our Artolio project. Knowledge transfer from governments to producers, transparency of supply chain from farmers to clients, solutions to climate change danger, to Mediterranean olive crops, and I heard that many mentioned that, etc. Now, when we speak about innovation, technologies are definitely transforming our food, our health, and our planet. And it is clear when we speak about innovation, we relate mostly to technology. And indeed, it will be the main focus also here. But I would like to discuss the power of community and locality and look for innovation, either digital or physical, in these domains as well. So we do have a moment in the sun. Look at the numbers. And I think it's time to seize the opportunity. Clearly, Agrifoodtech has moment now, just from seeing the numbers flowed into the sector in 2020, which represent an increase of 35% from 2019. Technological innovation in the olive oil production is needed due to supply disruption, dislocations in production, and dislocation in distributions. Now, this hype curve graph is actually not to show how much technology is into this agri-food sector, but is a proof. Actually, I wrote it to show you as a proof that not all technological innovations are actually necessary or making an impact. Just look at the slope enlightenment and the plateau of productivity. It also clearly showing us what is missing: management technology, packaging technologies, and of course, supply chain and processing transparency. The need in digital business management was very clear to us when we based Artolio, and it is one of our Artolio project main focus to address this lack in business savviness among smallholder farmers and provide a technological answer to this vacuum. Just an example, this is the system advantage to olive oil industry that we are applying and launching in the coming few weeks. But the thing that we noticed is that there is a part in this production chain which is kind of unseen, and it's a very messy middle of food supply chain. Right now, the supply chain tech category is highly fragmented. We see like a lot of innovation in one chapter and in another, but there are no connections. And it's funny because before COVID, most people didn't even consider the food supply chain. They seldom thought of it because food always showed up. COVID-19 certainly has put some consumer focus on it, and this is a blessing. So just to make things clear, when we mean supply side, when we say supply side, we mean production, manufacturing, distribution, logistics, efficiency management, transparency, collaboration. And when we say demand side, we mean healthy, culinary, buy local trend, GI, DOP, ecological tourism, etc. Now, the supply chain is a very disruptive landscape. And what is also clear during the last years is that market, meaning clients and investors, demand for increased traceability and sustainability. And yet the bulk of value creation and investment to date have been consolidated less in food supply chains and more into the two point ends of the production chain, which means production and customers. So it is clear we need to move the needle towards new tech-driven market value within the food supply chain and look for innovation in direct-to-consumer practices, traceability and transparency of production and processing, tech management and business automation, such as the Artolio back office function, and better forecasting and adoption of automation and robotics. And as we can see, the 150 billion opportunities in the middle of the food processing and supply tech from harvest to retail is definitely an opportunity. Food, we know, and we all know that food processing isn't very sexy. And we all hope that this will change as people start to understand the interesting work that's being done around food safety detection, freshness control application. There are some really interesting opportunities to move the needle significantly in here in the supply chain. And as we know, technological innovation has undergone unprecedented development, and this evolution can offer extraordinary opportunities for product qualification, which today has not been adequately exploited due to a lack of vision and innovation. So we can see here some examples of progressive innovations in supply chain, the untapped opportunity for vertical specific technology companies which are focused on serving the unique needs of food supply chain, like inspection systems, provenance, consumer taste, which is the latest innovation, and food trends. And of course, what clearly boosts the olive oil market will be using blockchain technology that would provide trust, sharing, security, and distribution, and there is no place to talk about the advantages of this technology. So the holy grail will be a tighter and better connection between supply and demand. And we have to remember that the pillars might also be strategy work versus just blocking and tackling execution. So all of these technologies should be supporting a better connection between supply and demand in terms of visibility and strategic work. And under the, I must say that under the marketing point of view, an innovation should be able to develop products that accurately and timely respond to customer needs, offering a valuable experience to the customer, exceeding his expectations. So communal innovation supposed to enhance business collaboration, economy of scale, and regional sustainability, and also the experience economy. The Artolio is focusing on building a pan-Euro-Med network, believing that communities work together can bring for a positive change. So this is one example. Advantage of size, I think, are clear to all of you participants, capabilities of large organizations in terms of marketing abilities, payments and clearance, transporting, branding, etc., global visibility, data for research, standard stamp, farmer mindset, by providing learning and experience, and size of land and operation. Just an example for the financial management that is really in a big need. Those are examples of failures of small-scale producers. Increasing adoption for tech management, business automation, and finance management techniques will help them know if the local business, if their own local business is really profiting, or how profitable a new business can be. And we see those mistakes over and over again. Turning a commodity into an experience, we can see that the experience economy is boosting, and definitely there is a chance and opportunity also here. And when we say from commodity to experience, we meaning that we want to move from manufacturing to infofacturing, from tradition to agrotech, from import to export, from sole producers to collaborating business communities, from unemployment to employment, and from economic survival to healthy well-being. And the third and last innovation is within locality. As we know, the EU invests locally through its regional policy, containing measures to boost economic growth and jobs and improve quality of life through strategic innovation. So I think we all know why buy local trend is important. There is no need to explain that to all of us regarding all food and local products, of course. Culinary and health are one of the main boosting points for locality. And this is a very interesting research on olive oil consumption and human health. But I think the most important is the geography of food, how local food and tourism combine together. And we know that ethnic, regional, and local dishes are powerful markets and markers for territories and places. In pioneer work on the geography of food, Bell and Valentin, point out that the definitional question of what makes a region has long vexed spatial scientists, and looking at regions through food can add fruitfully to these debates. So the potential of olive oil ingredients as a tourist attraction is also very clear. The tourism industry highlights food as a tourist attraction and as a marker of given locations and places. Guidebooks, travel magazines, websites, and brochures, as well as local stakeholders, emphasize regional dishes and local specialities and count them not only among the reasons for visiting a local, but also as icons which represent and encapsulate its essence. And we all know it from the Mediterranean basin area. And also relates to local, which is local pride, enhancing trust, because we want to keep our name safe and clean. Creativity, I just wanted to show you this last winning from, I hope you see it, the Midnight Olive Oil. He won the NYIOOC World Olive Oil Competition medal gold, working on producing during the night without any light, and also preserving the local variants, which is very, very important when we speak about locality and working with smallholder farmers. There is, and this is the last point, there is also innovation through measuring impact. I don't know if you're familiar with this project of accounting innovation or counting impact. It was established in the Harvard by Professor George Seferim, actually a Greek origin professor, very promising star. And in recent years, most major international airlines, the example, for instance, that he gave, have reported healthy profitability. But in the case of Lufthansa and American Airlines, for example, I think we can see it here, accounting for the environmental cost of 2.3 and 4.8 billion respectively would make both companies unprofitable. And success for society should not be measured by the amount of wealth it produces. For instance, drugs that cure cancer are better than the cigarettes that cause it. Yet both are treated equally and calculating GDP. So the question is, if we will be able to account healthy food products in the right price that deserve them, comparing other food products. And this is very interesting research that is continuing the focus on companies into products and into the food world products. I don't know if I have the time to show you the legend of the Thunderbird. This is actually from, I did my PhD in Canada, and I was working in a Mohawk First Nations tribe for many years on business development. And it's funny because before we heard all this language of climate change and preservation, they spoke about it very naturally. And there is this famous sentence that the white human being will understand that we cannot eat money after we will destroy all the last river and the last tree, etc. So this is the legend of the Thunderbird, a very famous legend among the First Nations. I will send you the link. And yeah, of course, we have a lot of challenges, especially change and trust. Change is hard, trust is hard. But I believe in this sentence of one of the most important economists, of our time, John Maynard Keynes, who said it is better to be roughly right than precisely wrong. So I wish good luck for all of us.
Thank you very much, Rifat, for the very interesting presentation.